What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a lovely one out there today. I want to listen to the first track off of Geordie Greep's album, The New Sound, released 2024. So this is from the lead singer of Black Midi, who is probably like. Let me roll the intro. Let me do that first before I keep on talking. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with Black Midi, probably, I mean, they're not anymore, but probably one of the most progressive and forward-thinking bands in the 2020s and so. And their two albums have been like very highly acclaimed. I've enjoyed them, and Black Midi is not continuing. And this album from Geordie Greep has come out to much acclaim, and I've been wanting to listen to it, and so today we're listening to it. I want to listen to the first track at least. I personally will probably listen to the rest of it on my own, unless people here would like to continue on the channel. But I've heard a lot of great things about it. It has very high ratings. And what I think is so cool, like any good progressive, experimental, any type of music like that, like Black Midi is not for everybody. But you can't deny that they are pushing boundaries. So I'm really curious to see what this at least the first song is on this one. So let's go ahead and do that with the first track, which is going to be Blues. Here we go.
You're all grown up, you have your own stove and your own pair of oven gloves. You have arrangements and assignations. You keep up appearances and have a reputation. You sit in a park and work on your sonnets. You talk about yourself in the past tense. You have opinions that can't be shaken on morals firm. Do you know what I mean? 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 It's your
jazzy direction with his voice.
You know what I mean? 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 It's your second favorite turn of phrase. Speak English better than anyone, and you can curse like no one ever has done, and you have a bigger dick than any man who's ever lived, and you can come more than 100 stallions in a room that smells of cigarettes and carry on under sheets freezing cold with damp. You voyage far and wide across plain and ocean, step on marsh on celestial bridges and knock down doors and climb in windows and listen in and listen. Can you hear that? The sounds of life, not yet awake, the stirring, the screwing up of eyes, a blanket that forms mountains, the valley between knee and cheek, the steep slide down to the feet, the toe poking out. Be careful, don't touch, have discipline, my boy, just watch. Stay outside in the cold. And you feel it, you can feel it, see? There's a universe in this room, you scrounger of toilets and pillager of tombs. You don't have to work because working is for schmucks. You know God will light your way. You are ready to admit to murder, to assault, to robbery, to pederasty, to fraud. You are ready to take the blame for every crime of all them. But the jury is out to lunch.
I like how it brings back to this verse. It's fast guitar.
You imagine a roaming camera that captures your melancholy. You walk the streets that stink of disease. You turn up your collar like James Dean. You put your right hand under your jacket and pretend you have a gun. You put your left hand under your jacket and pretend you're Napoleon. You squeeze your spots till they bleed. You turn your face so no one sees. Do beggars still play accordions? You should pay one to follow you around and play your theme. Soon your nails will sin. Soon your earrings will ring. Soon your organs will grow little mouths and speak for themselves. Soon your body will stage a civil war. Soon your heart will burst out
Oh. Oh. Okay. I like discovering music like this, and I like listening to music like this, because this is 100% something I would love to listen to on my own. We may listen to more here. We'll see. Depends on you guys, to be honest. But this is not an easy listen. This is something that is a little uncomfortable. It's a bit odd. But I think there's a lot in there that kind of, if it doesn't get your attention, which I think it does, it at least attracts your curiosity, to quote Leonardo DiCaprio, Mr. Candy. Like, like it tickles that curiosity of, I wonder what's next. I wonder what comes in next after that hard stop. Something completely different. Like, this is something I would love to listen to and explore further, just to hear where this goes. Because as it is, this is like a sonic boom with initially a voice that sounds kind of like a Baroque pop kind of sound, a little deeper, almost singing in a little bit of like a 60s kind of, like I said, Baroque pop kind of sound, with an edge towards jazz, and some of the delivery kind of has that scat, not quite, but like a little bit of that delivery, especially in the beginning. But then it becomes more fierce, more maddening. And the music, the musicianship behind it so wonderfully captures all that, especially the drumming. We have to talk about the drumming. On this particular track, you're going to have Morgan Simpson on the drums. Absolutely incredible, to be honest. I mean, he's the drummer from Black Midi. And like just really, really fantastic. Like, it's groovy, it's intense, it's aggressive, but it plays with the melodies so well, which Greep is also handling a lot of the synth work and the keyboards, and you hear a lot of that sprinkled throughout. The guitar at many times is kind of muted, like especially in that in the verse of it, it's kind of muted, but it's very fast in its mutation. And I mean like mutation, not like mutation like X-Men, That's what I was thinking. It's just a very, very cool track. A couple of horns kind of sprinkled throughout there as well. I don't know. Listening to this was kind of like watching a Robert Eggers film or something. I'm not going through all these lyrics. And I can't even... Listen, to be honest, as I was reading the lyrics and listening, I couldn't even tell you what he's talking about, but I feel like he's angry. You're all grown up. You have your own stove. You have your own pair of oven gloves. You have arrangements and assignations, how do you say it? You keep up appearances, you have a reputation, you sit in the park and work on your sonnets, you talk about yourself in the past tense, you have opinions that can't be shaken, and morals firm. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Is your favorite turn of phrase. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Is your second favorite turn of phrase. So it's perhaps someone that puts up a certain front, but when you dig a little deeper, they don't have much depth to them. You can speak English better than anyone. You can curse like no one has ever done. You got a lot of stuff that happens in there as well. Under your sheets, freezing cold of damp, you voyage far and wide across plain and ocean. Step in marsh and celestial bridges. Like, this is someone that's learned and worldly. Can you hear that? The signs of life, not yet awake. The stirring, the screwing up of eyes. You are ready to admit to murder, to assault, to robbery, to pedestry, to fraud. You are ready to take the blame for every crime of all men, but the jury is out to lunch. Let me just read this. It can be interpreted as a song as being about a person that is obsessed with their own image and importance, while in truth they are living a fantasy to escape their insecurities. I kind of got it. Look at all this. First, you want to describe a person who creates themselves with independence, artistic sensibilities, and a firm worldview. However, they seem to be vain, since they're writing poetry in public, create literature about themselves, and are obsessed with making their own knowledge obvious to others. And of course, as he mentions, it turns more and absurd to reveal the facade this person is living behind. Okay, don't laugh at me now, but there was a period of about 2 or 3 months in which I would take a little steel-backed notepad that I had bought from Barnes & Noble's, and I would drive to the local park, sit down on a windy, cold afternoon under one of the little picnic tables. Occasionally, I'd bring a blanket with me and sit on the grass, look at the river, and I wrote poetry too. This person also seems to be proud of their misery and their flaws. They are ready to be judged for every possible sin because it would ascribe them with greatness. See, even though the lyrics, there was a lot to them, and like I said, I'm not going to go over every single line for the sake of brevity, but clearly, and even, you know, reading some of the descriptions here, it actually makes a lot of sense. Actually makes a lot of sense. Not on this video, but I'm going to listen to the next track. I'm going to record another video listening to the next track because I am curious to see how it goes, which is going to be Terra. But for this one, let me know what you guys thought. Are you curious to hear more? I'm going to, so you got no choice unless you don't click the next video. Follow me over on Twitter. You can support the channel and on Patreon. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. And you know what? Actually, we'll talk about it in the next one. Get out of here. Go. We'll talk about it in a second.